Welcome to Greece, welcome to Thessaloniki, welcome to Cedefop.
It's not mainstream VET that you will be discussing in the next 2 days. You will be discussing a process which we believe very strongly it will have, and it's having an impact on VET. We need, in our discussions, to find out whether we could have or we could create a symbiotic relationship between the national authorities and the global education and training players.
In order to keep our welfare up, we need not only to adapt to globalization, but we also need to have higher productivity and we need to have more innovation. So all these factors, globalization, digitization, need for higher productivity, need for innovation, imply that the skills problems that exist in Europe, that they must be addressed.
There are new jobs and occupations emerging. Others become obsolete. And this is because of the globalized economy and the rapid technological developments. In such a global context, it is important for the holders of vocational qualifications to have the right skills, to have the right competencies to remain employable and to be competitive in the labor market. To make this happen, we need education and training to stay ahead of developments, or at least follow developments at a very close pace.
It seems to me that the cleverest way to lessen and even prepare for the shocks of globalizations on area and on individuals is to increase the ways in which we facilitate transition, exploration and learning.
Internet is evolving very fast. So we may sometimes think it's already in the phase where it's already done, but from the industry perspective, it's not. We see that we are just in the front of the next wave of adoption, which is, we call it Internet of Everything, where there will be much more of expansion of connectivity. The demand for digital skills there will be growing very fast. It's already there. We have heard this morning about 800,000 jobs in European Union which are already affected by the lack of proper level of digital skills. On the other hand, we have youth unemployment, right? It's a paradox. On one hand, the industry is ready, but there is not enough competence. Is there a role for VET in this? I believe so.
None of the tools you use to get in the IT world, like mobile phones, computers, and so on, would operate without welding. Your mobile phone has a couple of thousands of welds, yeah? And the other thing is actually that my former speaker said that manufacturing is the one that is going to get into the implementation of the Internet of Everything. We are actually already working on that.
There are skills gaps. We've seen evidence this morning that there are skills gaps. So how can an employer, and to quote one of our employers, how can it make them an employer of choice, not an employer of need? And they feel that engaging with the National Qualifications Framework can help them in that process. Is it necessary when advertising a job post to put a specific qualification, or could you actually allocate a national qualification level or an EQF level? Too often in the UK, employers are asking for a degree or equivalent, but have no understanding of what the equivalent is.
Global issues cannot be resolved at one continent. They have to be resolved at a global level. So with all the discussion that is happening in Europe, and it's very important, I don't think that the global issues will be resolved by a Eurocentric solution. So it has to be a global solution.
We in Australia have a significant interest in engaging through vocational education. Education exports, for a start, are a significant part of the Australian economy. We also know that an increasing number of Australian companies are working internationally, and international companies are working in Australia. And for them, understanding the pool of skills that is available to them is really important. It helps to support international investment.
We're doing a lot of work on qualifying for the future world. In fact, it is now the message of our organisation in everything we do. And this is about anticipating future needs and changing the way we work in order to meet those needs. This is part of our future. We're here, really, I'm enjoying very much being here to hear how Europe is handling many of the same challenges. I think we have the same challenges.
The main concept, yes, which was chosen to solve the arising problem was to set up a national skills qualification framework. This is the main concept, and it is intended to make all Indian qualifications NSQF compliant.
I think globalization and all the issues we discussed in this conference is actually opening a way to bridge social responsibility of national authorities with the labour market and cross-border interconnectivity. It is also an excellent occasion, an excellent opportunity to bring together and to improve cooperation between private and public sector. This event, this closing session, is also a beginning. I believe we have to, in any case, to walk this pathway together. We always do that as Cedefop. I hope that you enjoyed and found this event really fruitful, very interesting, and I hope with practical ideas for your work.